we're gonna have an outstanding Orc Mirror here coming up. FoCuS versus Lin Guagua. Our first game of the day. And it's kicking off already. Let's go. FoCuS in the blue in the bottom left, Linguagua in the red. And Orc Mirror, as you may have noticed, is quite unpredictable nowadays. Or at least not as predictable as it used to be anymore. We have a lot of Farseer head-on play that a lot of players seem to favor, but also Blade Master still has quite a foothold in this matchup. And here for map 1 at least, it seems like FoCuS is going to prefer the Blade and Linguagua is going to prefer the Farseer. Blade Master with double circlet, looking quite good there, not too much experience yet. But those stat boosting items certainly helping him out quite a bit. Farseer Headhunters is of course something that we've been seeing a lot recently. Super popular, very strong, and also not entirely predictable as to what the game plan is going to be. You can play a tier 1 push, a tier 2 push, follow up with towers, you can go tier 3, you can go triple hero, you can go expansion. Lots of things possible with Farseer Headhunters. First Headhunter here is going to go down, Blade Master is going to pick up the experience, get level 1.5. Using quite a bit of mana here though is FoCuS. As I said, level up timings crucial in this matchup. And a fast level 3, be it for the Farseer or the Blade, would be very, very beneficial. So far looking pretty decent for FoCuS. Once the Farseer has like 4 Headhunters out, he can creep extremely well. Especially on Last Refuge. So I like this aggressive stance that FoCuS is taking. Even cancels the replenishment potion. Very nice. But now the Headhunter count is starting to grow. And things might be getting a little bit harder for FoCuS. Second hero follow-up for Linguagua on tier 2 is going to tell us a lot. If he wants to play very aggressively, could even be a Fire Lord with Lava Spawn to push into the enemy base. With the Headhunters, the Wolves and everything else, and possibly some towers as well. Oh, nice last hit there. FoCuS steals the experience away, and that might prevent level 2 here on the Farseer. Blade though, very low HP, very low mana. This is a little scary. Linguagua patiently waiting for the Windwalk to end. So the Blade reveals himself attacks the Farseer, but Farseer should be fine. Should be fine, right? Yeah. FoCuS using a lot of mana and HP. Oh my god, he almost gets the Farseer! Oh, he does! And that's level 2, and that's a huge disaster for Linguagua. I feel like the targeting there wasn't the greatest. He should have been able to force this Blade away much easier, and that is a catastrophic early game, leading to a terrible mid game for Linguagua. Any push he may have been thinking of before is certainly out the window now. Even has to wait for the hero to return to continue to creep. But he is sending out the peons, you know? Maybe he still is gonna try with this push, but it's not gonna be easy. Great game here so far by FoCuS. I saw earlier on Hitman's stream, FoCuS was playing against Hitman quite a bit, and I think from what I saw there, it was mostly FoCuS playing Farseer Headhunters and Hitman defending with Blade. But here FoCuS now going with his own Blade Master. Oh my god, the Book of the Dead. That is amazing against a Farseer Headhunter push. Fire at the shop. Is he gonna creep this? Or maybe just for a dust? Yeah, speaking of dust, feels like That should have been purchased at some point in the early game. Not having that dust really came to bite Linguagua in the butt. In the buttocks. And FoCuS playing walkers. Not like Hitman, who oftentimes goes Lodge and Shaman. And there's the Book of the Dead. Oh my god, it's so good. It's being focused right away. So the skeletons will be getting taken care of. But that is so much damage that's not landing on the grunts. And that's in the meantime landing on the Farseer, on the Shadow Hunter. That also doesn't make sense. The Headhunters, of course, I meant. Towers are coming up. We do have spiked barricades, by the way. Level 2 already, so lots of damage return from this. But all the Headhunters have disappeared, pretty much. All but one. We do have some summons still in here, but the Fire Lord's out of mana. And it's only level 1 wolves, not level 2, which is not very helpful for trying to make this push work. And this just looks like a super solid defense. Bit of a warm-up game here, perhaps. That early certainly didn't work out too well for Guagua. Losing the Farseer there on level 1 is never allowed. He had like 8 Headhunters next to his Farseer, but one single blade still could ruin his day. One tower is going to finish up on the high ground. That might catch FoCuS by surprise. But seems like he's gonna kill the Fire Lord. And there's only 25 supply right now for Linguagua, which is certainly not the greatest. Alright, one tower standing. If a second one finishes, you know, maybe something's doable. But that second one may very well just be getting cancelled. Still a big army for FoCuS remaining. He can even take out a Headhunter up there. Oh. Shadowhunter getting surrounded. Oh! Ah, not quite. Okay. That would have been very cute. Theon's doing their best, repairing quite a bit. On the walkers. No ethereal form. Okay, there is, but too late. Was just waiting for that with the chain lightning. But 3 raiders still available. Coming in with a hex with the ensnares. I think he had a TP maybe still. But of course the game is over. GG called. And the 1-0 lead for FoCuS. Solid defense. And yeah, of course, the early game, you can't allow for that to happen. But good creep route. Solid game plan, I think, for the early. Of course, the dust was missing there. But it was kind of awkward for the Farseer to get to the shop in the first place, to get the dust. If he's over at his natural, where he was spending quite a bit of time since he was creeping the High Priest, and if you want to go over to the green then after, next to your base, it doesn't feel very, very fluent to go for dust in the meantime at the shop, but should have probably gone for it regardless. That Blade Master turned out to be quite the menace. The double circlet making a huge difference, as we have seen many times before. The stat boost for the Blade Master. Very, very important, very helpful. And that's going to bring us to map 2. Of course, for our Group B today, we do have 2 big favorites. Those are FoCuS and Fortitude. Thunder has been looking better and better recently. Linguagua, we haven't seen too much from him lately. It feels like in these tournaments, he always has the unfortunate short end of the stick that he always lands in a really tough group. That's not so much the case this time. When we look at Group C or D, those look a lot harder. So Linguagua now, for the first time in quite a while, has decent chances of making it out of the group into the prize money. Because top 8 only is going to be a prize money payout. But the further you get, the more of a reward you're going to receive. And it's a big reward as well. This tournament is sponsored apparently by an anonymous fan. And it's more than $16,000 in total, which is really, really cool. Huge prize purse for the players. And we'll see if FoCuS gets one step closer to that already. Or if Guagua can bring it back. was a very quick game for FoCuS. By the way, thank you, Lord Might, with a 7-month resub, and Babadi with a 52-month resub. Much appreciated. Was Twitch around 10 years ago? I don't think so. When exactly? Wait, or was it? Actually, maybe it was. Because I've heard from quite a few people that they had their 9 and 10 year Twitch anniversary, so it might have been just around 10 years ago. I would have thought 10 years ago it was still just in TV. I'm not quite sure. Must have been around for 10 years or something like that, though. Did we change zoom, guys? This looks very zoomed in, doesn't it? Or is it just default zoom? It does seem very closed in here to me. We do have Farseer Headhunters again. I wouldn't have been too surprised to see FoCuS here as well with Farseer Headhunters. On this map, especially, I guess you could say, Farseer works out very well with Headhunters. You can creep the green Murlocs in the middle very easily, and you can quickly go for the marketplace and the shop creep in the middle with Headhunters. With Grunts, it's a lot harder to do, although also possible, especially if you're left alone. Crit first, speeds up creeping here a little bit. Circlet start again for FoCuS. So he skips the Windwalk, which means he wants to creep to level 2 first. And then start to make use of his mana. FoCuS gonna have the faster tech here by a little bit. The FSHH strat, it seemed like for a while there was some difference in builds, in opening builds. Like, you know, some orcs skipping the barracks until tier 2 started, so rushing tier 2 very fast and adding in the Headhunters later. But it seems like nowadays everyone agrees, nope, actually the best thing you can do is go to borrow tech, get out the Headhunters fast, and tech up a little bit later, because you can creep so very well with it and also skirmish very well. Once you have 3, 4, 5 Headhunters, you're very strong in the early game. He's not creeping the red camp, is he? No, okay. Guagua just trying to be evasive. FoCuS is on the lookout. Trying to find his opponent, but not able to. And good movement here by Guagua. Evading the opponent, but Headhunter is gonna perhaps give away the enemy whereabouts. As we see Guagua now creeping the natural. Our FoCuS is going to give him some good experience. Get him closer to 3. And again, crucial level up here is going to be level 3. Ring of Regen. Actually pretty nice right now, as the Farseer is taking some damage here from the creeps and doesn't have any salves. FoCuS is going to be able to run down this one Headhunter, but it's taking him a long time. Grunt in the north. Scouts the enemy creeping. Oh, if this Grunt gets around, this would be a huge disaster. The wolves are faster, and so is the Farseer. But FoCuS controls it well, walks in a very straight line where it's a lot harder to be blocked. And is gonna reach tier 2. Gonna go for a Lodge or a Totem right away. Will have to do so to be able to deal with a possible tier 2 push. I feel like most of the time in Orkmira nowadays, the Farseer Headhunter player, if he's playing up against a Blade Master, is going to try to push on tier 2 rather than go tier 3. Rather than go tier 3 and go triple hero. But this time it's a Shadow second. No Fire Lord, so no all-in push right away. At least from the look of things. Would be a great camp here for FoCuS to get. This is something that orcs always love to do in multiple different matchups. During the nighttime, try to snipe the shop in the middle is something you always have to scout for, and Linguagua scouted for it very well. Indeed. Takes out one Grunt, and the second Does FoCuS not have a speed scroll here? 3 grunts. Wait, was that 2 or 3? There was 3 grunts going down, right? And he gets the item. Oh my god, that's a disaster. Complete disaster. Would love to see the Blade's items, his inventory. Did he not have a speed scroll right there? It's kind of a huge mistake. He didn't. Maybe he used it before at some point that we didn't see. But yeah, you want to have those speed scrolls, man. You need to have those speed... Oh, he stole the last hit, did you see? Stole the last hit! And FoCuS is in huge trouble now. Use the hex. At least gets the last hit there. And the item. But the Blade's not level 3 yet. Still missing a little bit. And those grunt kills were a huge deal. Shaman are coming out. The Purge very strong against the level 2 wolves. It one-shots them. Almost perfectly. 400 damage is what the Purge does. And wolves have 350 HP. But Linguagua is very happy with its early game. He's able to harass and slow down the opponent here extremely well. He's creeping up the Shadow, who's going to get level 3 soon. And again, we have Spike Barricade, so it seems like again, we're going to have a push. Farsh is going to have to TP out. Ooh, he even got in a right click to cancel the clarity. Cheeky, cheeky. FoCuS trying to creep up as quickly as he can. But the Blade is soaking up plenty of experience, so the Shadow of his is not gonna get too much. Not gonna get level 3. Unlike Linguagua's Shadowhunter, who's gonna get level 3 right there, and he found the big mana potion as well. Pendant of Energy, okay, that's not too bad. But those grand losses earlier, I know. I'm sounding like a broken record, but it really is a huge deal. And here we go. Here comes the peon train again. Choo choo. Oh, FoCuS trying to go to tier 3. That looks a little greedy. But we'll see if it pays off. Shadow continuing to creep a little bit. He's going to get jacked here in a moment. I think he still doesn't have a speed scroll. Just going to have to react very quickly. Especially with the Shaman. To not lose them. Oh, but here we go. Hex on the Shadow right away. Last hit stolen. It seems like FoCuS reactions are just a little slow today. It sounds a bit harsh, I guess. But during daytime, you have lots of vision range. And I think you should have been able to react to the enemy approach a little bit faster there. Alright, here we go. FoCuS at 43 supply. 50 for Linguagua. That's a scary army. Purging the wolves over and over. Double level 3, very strong here on Linguagua's side. Ooh, the Blade! Takes a lot of damage. And now the Kodos are in to eat up these grunts. 1, 2. And I think we're gonna have a 1-1 here, folks. It looks pretty desperate here for FoCuS. GG is called. And as good as game 1 was looking here on game 2, it looked a lot different. And I think FoCuS not so familiar with the Blade versus Farseer style perhaps at the moment. As I mentioned earlier, I've been seeing him play a lot of Farseer on ladder. Earlier today he did that against Hitman as well. And Hitman is quite masterful with the Blade Master defense against the Farseer, but here it was looking a little bit rougher. I really wonder, did he not have a speed scroll there in the early game, or had he used it already? Well, don't think we can find out, but we're gonna find out what map 3 here is soon. Linguagua, is he finally going to get out of a group again? He's been struggling a little bit recently. He now has a decent chance if he wins here Another victory follows. He's finally going to be able to make it into a top 8 again, into the money. And as mentioned earlier, this is one of the easier groups to do it in. I guess we haven't checked out the groups yet, but yesterday, Group 8, the two favorites prevailed, as we were expecting, with Lin and 1-2-0. And here today in Group B, the top favorites are FoCuS and Fortitude, and not to throw any shade on them, of course they're great players, but if you look at Group C, Foggy, Moon, Colorful, Chimico. Those are all in really good shape currently. And Group D, Fly, Sock, Lawlight, so on. So Group C and Group D definitely look to be the most stacked, in my opinion. So, yeah, Linguagua, this is his chance. This group is the best he's had in a long time. He's going to try to capitalize and finally make a deep run again. But of course, FoCuS is going to try to prevent that as best as he can. We move to map 3 for our decision, Turtle Rock. FoCuS again with the normal Blade Master Grunt opening. I must say I'm quite surprised that he's refusing to play Farseer Headhunters here once. Was that in any way influenced by Hitman? Because Hitman was beating his Farseer Headhunter style quite a bit on ladder before. Would love to hear from FoCuS why he's choosing these strategies the way he is. 2 borrowed tech, by the way. And no shop yet. But seems like the peon is going to be moving out to make that shop. Where for Guagua we again have the same build, Farseer Headhunters. A build that always works. Well, almost always. Against Night Elf, it doesn't really work. But everywhere else, very strong. Turtle Rock, a map that we do have in NetEase and many other Asian tournaments. Not in the West, not in DreamHack. A map where the Blade Master can stack up very well from exactly these camps that we see here on the outskirts of the map. Couple of claws, couple of circlets are always welcome.
Players' forces are under attack.
It's a straightforward level 3 creep route for the Farseer. Green, orange, shop. Boom, that's level 3. But of course the Blade can always come in to steal some items. And I think FoCuS hasn't scouted the opponent's position yet. He knows it's not close position. That one was removed quite a while ago. But soon he's going to figure out that Linguagua has spawned on his lane, if you will. Farseer found great items, by the way. Slippers and claws. Blade Master would love to trade those. And again, nighttime hits, and Linguagua is trying to be very evasive. Interesting. So that seems to be part of his early game plan. And FoCuS again, not able to find him. Sends out grunts, looking everywhere. Not finding him. And this camp is going to be level 3 now for the Farseer. I think FoCuS has to creep something big. Yeah, it's the red camp. You can see him over running to the red. And that might be level 3 for him as well. There's a lot of experience you get from this camp. Items for him so far not so great, but this one is beautiful. Scourge Bone Chime is going to be so much healing over time for the Blade and the Grunts. But Linguagua is getting level 3 first. And if he wants, he could push into the enemy base right away. And seems like FoCuS also is going to get his level 3 right here. I think he got an Agi Tome as well. 27 Agi seems quite high. 29, in fact, with the circlet. Shop gonna be taken out very quickly. FoCuS has to rebuy. Trying to get in range to buy some items. Was he fast enough? No. I don't think so. Lots of damage on the far, so he's gonna have to TP out though. That's gonna buy FoCuS a lot of time. For the second hero, Shadow to come out. Tier 2 also finishing for Linguagua. Shop now far in the back. There it's gonna be very well protected, but the burrows in front not gonna be so very well protected. Alright, peons are moving out. We know what that means. Tower push. And this time it's gonna be with a Fire Lord, it seems. And FoCuS missing the scout really, really hard. Blade Master was running around, not finding anything. Now he's gonna see the peons, I think. Oh my god, he may have missed them again. Cancels the thingamajig. Cancels the totem. And now he's gonna make a lodge. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Speed scroll used. FoCuS gonna disengage. Still waiting for the Shadow Hunter. Oh, that burrow is super dead. Wait, where's his money gone? FoCuS, what? Like, he cancelled the totem, but he didn't make anything else for it. Now, before we saw the lodge, and the shaman worked out very well, but then FoCuS this time went for the totem, cancelled it, didn't go for a lodge, and it's a lot of grunts going down. The lava spawn are about to split. All hope rests on the Blade Master's shoulders here. In the meantime, towers are coming up. There we see the splits, and the grunts are having a very tough time doing any sort of meaningful damage. One tower will be cancelled though. One more heal wave came in, healed up the blade, but that was the last of the heal waves. And that grunt is surrounded. And you know what? I think Linguagua, he's done it. Questionable choice here by FoCuS to go for the 2-burrow tech and not go for the lodge. I think the build was the issue here. And also, shouldn't you just peon scout? Peon scout in the beginning, figure out where the far steer is, and then chase him around, maybe? FoCuS is able to take out quite a few of these headhunters. Oh, Blade Master in trouble, getting blocked, nicely done. And the chain lightning, oh, beautiful execution there by Guagua. Wonderful block into the chain. And that's gonna be the GG. Just like that, we have the first upset of the day, as Linguagua beats FoCuS.